guys, Kasia and Dan here, Escape to Explore. Today's video is all about safety in Colombia.
So we spent over 2 months in Colombia, around 2 months in Colombia, and we're going to go through all our experiences, how we felt in all the big cities. Well, not all the cities we're going to go through. We're going to go through our experiences and how we felt and how safe we felt, and maybe give some advice on how to maybe stay a little bit safer.
When we told our friends, our families that we starting our travel with Colombia, they all said like, oh my god, why there? What you doing? You know how dangerous there is. So it does put lots of little things in your head, and you are suddenly become to be scared. At least we did, and a lot of actually backpackers who we met right here in Peru where we are at the moment, they said they skipped Colombia because they had as well all those scary things and they didn't want to have their experience ruined by being endangered. So we wanted to show you how actually safe Colombia is, or at least what our experience was. So let's start.
Yeah, so as you know, Colombia does have a bit of a bad reputation from previous history, like many years ago, of being a very dangerous place. So, when we arrived in Bogota, we felt a little bit on edge.
Very. I was petrified, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Everyone, before we left, everyone was like, stay safe, stay safe.
Yeah.
So I was really scared. And our first experience was we took a taxi from the airport. They dropped us off to a hostel. It was dark, it was late. Do you remember what time was it? About 10 o'clock?
It's about 10 o'clock at night. It was in La Candelaria of Bogota, which is known as one of the more... It's very touristy, but it can be quite unsafe at night. That's what we read anyway.
Yes, so when the taxi driver dropped us off, we had no internet, nothing, just like Google Maps. He stopped next to some random door with no hostel name or anything, so I said to him like, oh, that's not the place. So he drove a little bit further and he was like, no, that was that place. And he told us pretty much to get out, take our stuff and go to that place. We were petrified. I said to him like, I said to Dan, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
There were so many dodgy people at night, so because of all the people telling us all the bad things about Colombia, I was petrified.
Yeah.
I really literally didn't want to get out from that cab.
Yeah, so we had to walk a little bit of a way around. There's a big bunch of lads down the bottom of the road
with all our valuables.
There was a few homeless people walking down, picking stuff up on the street, and we were like, oh god, yeah, this is not somewhere we want to walk right now. But we did it in the end.
Yeah, we just like, let's do it. We had no choice. The taxi driver said you have to go.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got in the hostel. So that was our first experience. So when we first arrived, we were scared. At least I was really scared because of what people were talking. So first few days, because of being scared, we did had them spoiled because we were scared to walk in the evening when it was darker. I was like, Dan, we're not going out after dark. I'm not going. I was so scared. And yes, it did spoil it till we got out and went to the next city, the small town, and that's when we truly experienced Colombia.
Yeah.
That actually is not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So once we got out, we went to Villa de Leyva. We couldn't have felt more safe in Villa de Leyva. And throughout the trip in Colombia, we felt extremely safe.
We were walking with our cameras, probably we shouldn't, but obviously you have a little sense where you can take your camera out, where you
exactly.
can't. Some places we felt like, oh, maybe we shouldn't, we should put it away.
Yeah.
But most of the places you just walk with your camera and people are fine.
Yeah, so obviously we had to film stuff, we had to walk with our camera. But there were times, I think it was in Bogota, we didn't fancy it, and in times in Medellin as well.
Yes.
I think that's the only times we thought, no, we're not going to get anything out here, because it didn't feel entirely safe.
Yes, spending over 2 months in Colombia, we went to quite a few cities, about 20 cities, and only Medellin town square.
Medellin in the downtown centre, near the Botero Plaza, we felt very unsafe.
And Bogota, La
Candelaria, we felt unsafe as well. And when we went to all the other towns, all the small towns,
so I'm fine.
we felt so comfortable there. It's not to say, get complacent, but we did feel very comfortable. A few bad experiences we had were
Medellin and Bogota.
Medellin and Bogota. We were in a shop ordering some food, and there was some guy who looked like he was waiting for us. He definitely was waiting for us. He was watching us. And when we ordered the food, there were some tables, so we said to the lady, "Can we sit and eat in here?" And she said, "Yeah, you can." And as soon as he heard that we were sitting in there, he quickly up and left.
He literally kicked the chair and then left.
Yeah.
So then I said to them, like, "Oh, that was very weird. Let's just like wait till he goes." And we end up going anyway because we didn't want him to wait anywhere for us.
Yeah, and then again in La Candelaria, there was a woman who was following us around the main.
Yeah, you could tell she was trying to
She
go
was following us around everywhere, like into the crowd. She was standing around, pretending to look around. So quickly we got away from there as well. And then imagine in Botero Plaza, it can get quite dodgy, especially the road up from it is extremely bad. We were walking around, and then some guy was coming after us like crisps and chocolates. He had like a tray of stuff, and he went up to our friend, and he was offering him crisps with his hand, and his other hand went into his pocket. Luckily, he didn't get anything, but yeah, it was a very obvious attempt there to try and snatch something from him. So they're the worst experiences we had, and we actually walked down the next road along from Botero Plaza. We didn't like the area. We called a taxi. The taxi came, picked us up, and he said, "What are you doing in this area? You shouldn't be here." So they're the only real bad experiences we had. So nothing crazy. I mean, you hear some other backpackers obviously getting pickpocketed and stuff. So you've always got to be careful of that.
Actually, we had a little accident. Dan actually left his his wallet on a bench on a bus station. Quickly turned around like, "Oh, Dan, there is your wallet." Went back, took it. Yeah. So no one actually stole anything. You don't have to be crazy like constantly on watch out on those rest of the areas. But yeah, Bogota and Medellin, some of the areas I would.
Yeah, so overall, in general, we felt very safe.
Very safe.
It's just, we believed, when we arrived in Bogota, we believed a lot of stuff we heard. And that put us on edge.
Yeah, and actually they did made us a bit rude as well in a way. We sat on a bench in Villa de Leyva at one point, and there was that one woman in just normal clothes asked us something in Spanish. Obviously we didn't understand, so we just hugged our backpacks and like looked away. And it turned out she just wanted to sell us tickets.
Or just wanted to help us with our tickets. Just wanted to make sure we got to the right place.
When each time we were going to bus station, we were like ignoring people, thinking like, oh, everyone was trying to scam us or whatever. But actually, everyone was wanting to help us.
Yeah.
We got scammed a few times just on food, like we paid the tourist
only paid
price.
a couple of thousands pesos over.
Yeah, that was only in San Gil, and actually not that much.
So yeah, really, we didn't get scammed that much.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah,
so,
people were really honest, actually. Yeah,
we definitely felt that. The majority of Colombians are friendly, kind, trustworthy. There's just a few bad apples,
and
which you get everywhere.
Yeah.
So all general, we had a nice time. We generally had a nice, safe time in Colombia. So
I probably say anyone going to South America, you have to go to Colombia.
So a few tips, I guess, for staying safe in Colombia for what we found helped us. I mentioned in the other video, zip up pockets. I don't have them here, but I think we'll just put them to the wash. I've got another shorts of zip up pockets, which make you feel a lot safer and a lot better rather than just having pockets which hands can just quickly go in and out. That's a big one for me, which I really felt comfortable with zip up pockets. Another tip is locks on your suitcases. We've got
I'll show you actually. Okay. We've got those ones, but locks. We had that people can like get through them, but if someone wants to rob you and cut through your lock, they will do it anyway.
Yeah, so if you're staying in hostels, definitely that type of lock's good for all the different lockers they have.
It was really good because some lockers were like broken in some of the hostels that they wasn't shutting properly. So because the lock being bendy and long, we could like readjust. Yes, and we actually use them most of the time to lock our backpacks, and if we are in dorm rooms.
Yeah, so those type of locks, fantastic. So definitely get a few locks. We got a few little ones for our little backpacks
Mhm.
for certain times.
I probably recommend, yes, if like it's two of us, so we've got two of those and two of normal like proper lock with a key, just because sometimes the what is it, the lockers are too small to put your backpack in.
Yeah.
So I quite like to lock my suitcase before we go up. Lock my backpack, just because we did had one bad experience in Bogota, that Dan left his hoodie on the bed, like wrapped up in a duvet. We came back and the hoodie was gone, but when we asked the hostel staff 2 days later, the hoodie somehow came back to us, so not sure what
Not sure
happened. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, we learned, that was our first hostel as well, so we learned our lessons. I lock everything up, but I know most of people don't. Yeah.
Oh, another thing to say is that me and Kasha went round everywhere together all the time. So there's always two of us. So whether that put people off more from like pickpocketing and stuff, we don't know. So
And I've got my eyes everywhere.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you know, going around alone, just be more vigilant.
And sometimes if I saw someone dodgy walking behind us, I said to Dan like, oh, let's just stop and move on the side and like pretend to tie a shoelace or something, and then let that person walk away, because he might be just a normal young lad going shopping or something, and we might be like being scared for nothing. But that's
Exactly.
soon after we left Bogota, we stopped worrying about that.
Yes, exactly. So as I was saying, there's two of us at all times. So if you're solo backpacking, it might be a little bit, just be a bit more vigilant. Because we don't have each other to look out for, but you're going to meet loads of people which you go around with as well. So
still, you probably be a bit worried in like the bad areas of like the big cities, but actually, rest of the towns, I would be quite happy to walk on my own.
yeah, we didn't really walk around at night in the big cities, especially
No, we did in Medellin.
Medellin. But there's four of us,
Oh yeah, good point.
and that was one of the places we felt unsafe. And apart from Poblado, where we were staying, that felt fairly safe. So in the big cities, if you're by yourself at night, maybe not. The less you can do that, the better. In the small towns like Villa de Leyva and Salento and Guatapé,
we walked
at
around
night,
at night.
it feels extremely safe, really safe.
We were like in Salento, we were buying beers, drinking at night in the middle of the town centre. Absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. Another one is probably use Cabify and Uber where you can. At least you get, what price you're getting, and it's safer.
Yeah, definitely.
So the big cities, they're in play. In the little towns, no, but generally in the little towns, you'll be okay. Okay, other tips are a lot of the cash points are in little booths. They've got little one-person booths which are not locked in, but there's a door. So go into these cash points, shut the door behind you, and get your money, put it away first before you even move out of the cash point. So that's a pretty easy, common sense one to do.
But again, we never felt like, whenever we took money out, we never felt unsafe.
No.
We never felt like anyone is watching us or anything. So I don't know if we were lucky or we had a great experience.
Who knows?
But most of people who we met, they were like us.
Yeah. So another tip is, another obvious one is, especially in the big cities, don't flash everything all the time. Don't have your phone and your camera out, just walking around nonchalantly around the town, especially in the evening, because that does make you a target.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. As you say, in the smaller cities and other places, we felt fine with our camera out, but just always be aware of your surroundings, and just don't make yourself target, especially in the big cities like Bogota and Medellin.
And from this, what we had, sometimes if someone does try to rob you, better to just give it to them, whatever they want.
So that's not flashing things about. I say, like, if we were in the big cities with our phone and we had to check the maps, we were just like this. Just being sensible.
Yeah, it is easier to of you, because Dan would take out the his phone and start being on the phone, and I would like turn it on, sort of like hide him.
Yeah.
If we were like in the dodgy areas, but we needed help with Google Maps.
Another one is about getting ripped off, which you probably won't that much in Colombia. I mean, there's always a chance, but like if you're getting in tuk-tuks, motor taxis, or taxis in general, and it's not Cabify or Uber, just always ask first how much it's going to be.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you'll get to the end and they could have a astronomical price.
The only thing, if you are taking the local taxi, it's hard for them to tell you exactly how much it will be, because the price can change, because it's on the meter. So remember, they will give you a rough price, but remember it might not be exact one because it's a meter. Yeah.
So yeah, always in transport, just ask how much first, and then So before we came to Colombia and we were planning where to go, the UK government has got a really good travel advice map. They got a big map and it shows you like the red zones where not to go in Colombia. Just we'll post that up now, showing you where, and put a link to the government website. But yeah, that's really handy to show you which places really to avoid, just not to go to at all. And if you just follow those warnings, I mean, to be honest, in those zones there's probably nowhere you want to go anyway.
Yeah.
So just stick to the Gringo Trail and you'll be fine. Really will be.
And I think if you are a solo backpacker, now we've done, like you said, we've done over 2 months in Colombia. If I would have to go on my own, I would have definitely done it. Probably like if the first week I would have been petrified, scared and whatever, as I was anyway with Dan. But after that you have an amazing time. You meet so many people in hostel. You can, if you are scared to certain place, and just ask someone in hostel, they will go with you.
Another thing you can do, which we've done a few times, is when we book our hostel, we look at the reviews, and you know, a lot of times we've avoided the hostel because the comments say unsafe area, unsafe area, unsafe area, and we picked hostels because the reviews say really good area, you know, as such. So check the reviews on the hostels and stuff, and I'll give you a good idea if you're in a good area or not.
And the best thing is to ask the locals where is actually safe to go, where they wouldn't recommend you to go.
Yeah.
And especially in hostels, they're there to help you. They want to help you.
Yeah.
And they will give you a map, point you to right directions, and trust people, I think.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
You'll be fine, yeah. So ask the locals where you can't go. They will be very helpful. But overall,
we loved it. I want to go back.
Yeah, we love it, and I say
I want to move in.
overall, we felt very, very safe. Yeah, we could live there. We really could. I say only a couple of times we felt unsafe. It's not to say that things don't happen, like muggings and robberies and stuff like that. It does happen, especially if you are. It can happen anywhere, but if you're just not taking care and you're flashing your phone,
leaving your stuff unattended. We actually saw quite a lot of backpackers do leave like their backpack on a chair and then walk to the window to buy a ticket and stuff like this.
Yeah.
I would not do it just because, but I wouldn't do it in my hometown or anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's just us being sensible at home.
I'm very sensible, probably too sensible, which you was getting annoyed with me, but. But so, I think if you are sensible, then you avoid all the drama later.
Exactly, and you know all the big things like kidnappings and all those crazy things. I mean, if you go to the really bad areas, like on the government map, which says don't go, maybe there's a higher chance, closer to like the Venezuelan border, let's say. But in general, you know, that's not something you have to worry about when travelling around Colombia, especially if you're on the Gringo Trail, a safe area.
It's full of tourists.
So in general, you know, it'll be the same around South America. Just keep an eye out for your things, especially in the big cities, and if you're vigilant, then you'll be fine. It really is a lovely, safe country with the most lovely people.
If you are really scared of about your valuables, you can I know a lot of people get their dummy wallet or something. But to be honest, we didn't do anything like this because it would be a hassle. More things. Sounds awful, but more things to put in your pockets. Sometimes, like as a girl, it's quite nice. If I never had pockets, which was so annoying. But I could just like put my phone in a literally in a bra and a t-shirt, and I thought that's quite good. If someone does try to rob us, they won't have a clue my phone is there. Overall, don't skip Colombia. We met someone recently here in Peru, and she said that was a French guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She said like, oh yeah, she didn't go to Colombia because she was a bit scared, traveling solo. like you can hear, I'm scared of everything. I'm crazy person about like all the safety measures and things like this, and I would be happy to travel Colombia on my own.
Yeah. So don't be put off by anything you hear. All these crazy things, stories. You're gonna have a great time.
You will know like you are in a different country. You have to be a bit careful, and people are poorer there in generally, so they don't have as much as you do. You might think you don't have a lot, but for them you've got lots. And I think the best thing is try to help the locals as well. We saw so many people struggling and selling like little sweets and things, and whenever we could just try to help them.
Yeah, you can.
People will appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you will get people coming up to you trying to sell you a lot of like sweets to say, a lot of little things. Some people will sing and ask for money. Some people will come onto the bus you're travelling on and give you a speech about how they're struggling and their family's struggling. Can they have some money? It's up to you. If you say no, they'll be fine. They'll walk on. They won't hassle you. But yeah, it's up to you really. If you want to give them.
First, we were like, oh no, we're not giving anyone anything, just because we felt like, oh, what they want from us. But we noticed that most of the locals do give them the money.
A lot of the locals, do give these people.
There was one guy on one bus. There was 3 people coming in and begging. He like literally gave some money to every single person. So we thought like, actually, for us living in England, we're so blessed, and we can go back now and find any job. They struggling. They can't find those jobs. They need that money to survive.
So generally struggling really hard. So.
And they are very grateful.
Yeah, definitely. So some of them will perform for you, which is cool. So yeah, it's up to you whether you want to give like a few coins or not. Yeah, it's absolutely up to you. But as you say, if you say no, they're not gonna shout at you, or they're not gonna be annoyed. So yeah, don't be scared of them. They're just there.
They want to live like you do.
Yeah. So that's the end of our safety in Colombia video.
Probably got longer than we wanted to.
Yeah, probably waffled on for longer than we thought. If you did find it useful, give us a like. And we'll see you on the next video, which will be what we packed for Colombia, what you need to pack for Colombia. So we will see you there.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.